Hi, guys. Welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E.
I'm D.
And today we're pissed. You know why? And I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing because you're laughing now. But there's some disturbing news. And I know all the Latino community is upset right now. What am I talking about? Because I'm being long winded. Here's what it is. Somebody's girl, I don't know whose girl at this point, Yolanda Saldivar, yes, her. You know who she is. Um, is doing the most from prison.
Yeah.
She's doing a new docu-series, or she's been interviewed for a new docu-series. And I guess she's going to talk about Selena Quintanilla. And Las
Correct.
Selenas here are upset because I can't believe they even want to do this, but that's opinions right now. So
Right.
basically, we stumbled upon an article. If you guys, haven't seen it on social media yet, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what the article says. Of course, give you our opinions because we have many, and we'll go on from there. So, in case you guys don't know who Selena is and who Yolanda Saldivar is, I'll let you know. So, Yolanda Saldivar, who is eligible for parole next year, was interviewed for a two-part series, Selena and Yolanda: The Secrets Between Them. First of all, you know what? I'll keep it for later. The documentary crew also talked to members of the Saldivar family who shared never before seen documents and recordings in an effort to show there was more to the tragedy than the public knows. I have to say really hard. Corpus Christi Police Department detectives who were on the scene that day were also interviewed for the series and are said to challenge new information presented and remain steadfast in their determination that she was rightfully convicted. For those who don't know, on March 31st, 1995, Yolanda Saldivar shot and unalived Selena after the singer met with her to try to get financial documents from Saldivar. Saldivar was convicted of first-degree murder later that year and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole on March 30, 2025.
Isn't it crazy? We're already nearly there.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it's been that long.
January was 7 months long, and we're almost halfway through February. So time is flying, guys. And I can't believe that happened in 1995. And, she's eligible for parole in 2025.
Okay, so according to this article that we found, and y'all just know ahead of time, I'm not. I'm just hot. Okay, so that woman who is eligible for parole next year was interviewed for the two-part series, Selena and Yolanda, The Secrets Between Them. Que carajo. According to Oxygen, the series examines Saldivar's interpretation of events that ended in Selena's demise. In the trailer, Saldivar says, "After so many years, I think it's time to set the story straight." Saldivar, who was a close friend of Selena and ran her fan club, was accused of embezzling money from the singer's business, which led to the fatal incident. On March 31st, 1995, Saldivar shot and unalived Selena after the singer met with her to try and get financial documents from Saldivar. Saldivar was convicted of first-degree murder later that year and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole on March 30th, 2025. The documentary crew also talked to members of Yolanda's family who shared never before seen documents and recordings, blah, 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 blah. In the trailer, one of those family members says Saldivar has claimed it was an accident for years. Corpus Christi Police Department detectives who were on the scene, again, like E mentioned, determined that she was rightfully convicted. The series premiere February 17th at 7 p.m. with 2 episodes and ends with one final episode on February 18th at 7. All episodes will be available to stream on Peacock the day after. The Tejano singer will also be featured in a new art exhibit at the El Paso Museum of Art called Siempre Selena. It opens on February 15th and will go through February 9th of 2025. So before I give any of my thoughts, you give yours.
Sometimes I guess it's great to hear two sides of the story. I'm trying to put my bias aside, and it's really, really hard to be mature, guys. It's great to hear two sides of the story. Obviously, we were like little kids. Selena was one of our idols, or we loved her as a singer. She was trying to cross over to the
American music.
the American music. So it was like one of those up and coming artists that just died, like, and they didn't even hit their prime. Kind of like Aaliyah. For
Yeah.
those who don't, are not too familiar with Selena. So going back, I think it's good that we hear two sides of the story. However, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's morally or socially irresponsible. Like, why should somebody have a platform as big as, let's say, Peacock or Netflix or Hulu or whatever, when, you clearly were convicted of first degree murder? Like,
Right.
I feel like there's enough crazies in the world, and we don't need to like give them any more ideas or be like, can I get away with something or blah, blah, blah. Like, I think the world is just too crazy sometimes. People in prison should not get this kind of exposure. And, and I'm kind of torn because, not to bring up the Kardashians, but Kimberly is working on, all the reform that she's doing. So obviously these people were wrongfully convicted, and, we've seen the work that she's done with, herself, her platform, her lawyers, whatever. But, it's just a difficult space. It's
Yeah.
like sometimes like we need to know these things, and then sometimes it's like, guys, it's not worth it. You guys are trying to get views. I don't know if you're trying to be, Club Shay Shay right now because he's killing it. But I don't understand why you would give her this platform. Especially if
So,
the police department is going to interject and say, we convicted you and it was okay. So, I don't know, let's say in a hypothetical situation, she presents these facts and now she's been in jail for 30 years. And what? She wants to be compensated for it? For what? You
yeah.
unalive this lady, accident or not. I don't care. Why are we
Yeah.
giving her a platform? Like, I think we have so many problems with the justice system already. I think this just brings another layer,
Right.
of distrust, or more trust. I don't know what what side you're on, guys, but I don't like this at all, and I don't like the lady. This is my bias now.
Well, going back to what you said about, getting the two sides of a story, you can't get the two sides here because she unalived Selena.
This is
Selena
true.
one side.
Yes.
So there is no two sides because you literally got rid of one side.
Yeah.
And you were convicted, and I would hope that she continues to stay in jail. However, I can understand that essentially when you are sentenced for a period of time, there can be an end to that, and then you go free. We may not want her to go free.
Mhm.
However, if it is decided that she shall go free, it's unfortunate, but that's the way the justice system works, right?
Right.
However, like, I think it's frustrating because when someone has done their time, they paid their price, or so to speak, they're usually coming out of it remorseful, changed, or trying to do something different with their lives.
Mhm.
This human being decides that she will continue to attach herself to Selena after she got rid of her. And all these years later, she's still trying to hold on to Selena. It doesn't make sense that there's no reform to her.
Yeah.
If the justice system is supposed to reform you, if you got all this time in jail, nobody's going to ever re-examine your case because it was open and shut. You killed her. May not be the word I needed to use there. But anyway, she did. She was convicted. She did the crime. And to not even show the tiniest bit of remorse all these years later, of
Yeah.
course people don't want to hear from you. Of course people don't want to see you go free. And let me just tell you that the internet is already talking, and the internet is saying, ma'am, you should stay in there for your own safety. Because some people are very unhappy about this. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are pretty angry about it. And it's not just the Latino community. I've seen it all across social media. It's every different community you can think of that is like, what? Why? And it is very, very despicable to me that Oxygen, or whatever company that is, production company, is releasing this when, again, there's no two sides to the story. It's still
True.
the same thing. You're not getting anything out of it. I heard rumors that she's claiming that they were involved intimately. Why? Why even like say anything like that? This
Yeah.
woman is no longer here. She cannot defend herself. And you're doing harm to her family, to those that loved her that are still here. Her
Mm-hmm.
husband, her widow, is still here. And you are literally maligning her. Not only did you get rid of her, you're maligning her now. And she has been. For years she's been saying, oh, there's these secrets and there is this affair and there's this and that. Nobody believes you. Nobody. But unfortunately, here comes the camera crew in the guise of a documentary to essentially just try and make money off of this whole situation. And if she does get parole, it's gonna be bad for her. And I say that because there are some crazy people out in this world, crazier than her. And it just can be very, very bad. Like the way that people feel to this day about Selena and about what this particular there are piñatas that people use to bash her. There are piñatas of Yolanda because people want to bash her. It is not hyperbole to say that people despise this woman.
Yeah.
They've despised her for decades. We've despised her for decades, because I'm including myself. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first person I ever hated in my life. And I didn't know why. But I mean, I did know why, but it was like I never had that feeling before. So anyway, to me, it's preposterous that they're doing this. It is such a disgusting money grab. And if they wanted attention, unfortunately, they're getting it. We're giving it to them. Excuse me. And it's just so disturbing, to be honest. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know. Something that's always kind of bothered me also to mention, to agree with what you said. Yolanda's over there using Selena again, because that's her narrative. That's all she knows. She's gonna milk this till she can, she's trying to get money because, she ain't gonna get hired nowhere. Um, but I think I also hate the way Selena's family have exploited Selena post-mortem.
Yeah.
Um, you know, sometimes, I think it was like with the Selena movie and, just doing things like on Selena's behalf, it always seems so shady to me. It's like you don't let her like just rest. Like you're still, you know, on her coattails, like, you know, stringing us along kind of thing. And I don't know, it doesn't feel like a memory, like trying to I don't even have words. Like it doesn't feel like they're trying to remember her or honor her. It almost feels like we need money. Let's exploit her remembrance or everything that she did or are there songs that she didn't release or it just always feels so yucky on the Yolanda Saldivar portion of it all and her family, to
Um,
me.
I've never
So,
been an Abraham
no.
fan. I've never been a fan of Abraham Quintanilla, Selena's father.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially Abraham.
Yeah. And I could have given a pass to, oh, they did a movie or they did a posthumous album and all that. I could have given a pass to all that, right?
Mhm.
But the way they treated Chris, Selena's husband, that's where I was like, okay, these people ain't legit. Like, there's no way. Selena eloped with Chris. That is
Mhm.
how much she loved that man, that she was willing to go against her father, her family, to be with this man. And Chris, I believe he may have done a book or something like that eh, years after Selena passed, I think. He wasn't trying to make a buck off of her. And they tried to stop him from releasing anything related to Selena because Abraham owns the rights to Selena's name. And when Chris was going to get a show based off the book, I believe, with his relationship with Selena and everything, Abraham stopped it. And what did he do? He made a deal with Netflix and put out a show himself. And it's unfortunate that at every turn, Abraham has done such selfish things. I get it, that was his daughter,
Mhm.
but that was Chris's wife. The man that was with her every single day from the moment they got married, the man that was there with her when Abraham wasn't. And it has always felt like such a selfish thing, the way he's treated Chris. I think at different points, Chris has been able to reconcile with them, but it's always a situation where he's trying to prevent anybody, including her widow, from having anything to do with Selena's name or anything related to memorializing her, honoring her, anything. It just doesn't like make much sense. I think he even like had a lawsuit or did something against Maria Elena Celeste, I think that was her name. She was yes, she was with Telemundo,
Mhm.
and she did some sort of, or was trying to do some sort of series or show or something, I believe, also related to her investigation, her
Mhm.
journalistic investigation about the situation, and Abraham like maligned her and tried to stop her and do all these different things. He has repeatedly tried to bogart Selena as though he's the only one who has any rights to her, and that let her rest. I feel like this has been an ongoing thing for decades now. Selena has been gone for nearly 30 years.
So
And I know. And all this time,
self to on a lighter note, 30
you know,
years of rug. That
every
means
time I see
young.
Abraham, the what?
I said that means we were really young when this happened. We were in elementary school.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. So every time I see Abraham, like I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel sad for him. I see Chris and my heart breaks every single time. Whenever I come across a video that he did an interview several years ago where they asked him about a song that he has difficulty with. I think he said it's Dreaming of You. Like he can't listen to it to this day because it was a song that I think Selena was trying to get him to listen to. She had just recorded it. She called him about it and she was so excited and she wanted him to get down to the studio, but he said that he couldn't because he was working on a project for Abraham, helping another group. And so he didn't get to go listen to it and she passed within, I don't know if it was the next day or within days from that. So he never got to go to the studio to hear Dreaming of You. So when the song came out, he knew that was the song Selena wanted him to listen to. And
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking. I
Yeah.
know, like anytime I see Chris, I'm telling you, my heart breaks for that man. He remarried, had I think a kid or two, and I'm glad for him that he got to live his life. But it's sad the way in which Abraham has treated him even after all this time. There was also a story about how Selena's star on the Walk of Fame just says Selena Quintanilla. It does not say Selena Quintanilla Perez, which is Chris's last name, her married last name, because he claims that according to the Bible, once they get remarried, or something like that, then the last name no longer applies. They're no longer married. So because Chris got remarried, then he didn't need to include Perez in the star.
Wow.
That's bonkers to me. And it just doesn't make any sense. He's so desperate to have his connection and his name only related to Selena. It's like, why are you doing all of that? Just because
Mhm.
your other kids weren't successful doesn't mean you have to keep holding on to your deceased daughter's name like that. It's so baffling to me. And it just seems like he's so like money hungry, and that he's been money hungry all these years. I think he's already in his 80s, bro. Let it go. Like, Chris should be able to do what he wants to do in relation to his wife. He's the widow. Like, what is the big deal? After all this time, you get me? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I'm glad you feel the same way because it just feels so icky. Like it was like
Yeah.
every time I see Abraham's name, I think of the Selena movie. I think of all the things that I know. Everything with him just seems so money centered, and it's not to remember her. It's to
Yeah,
make as much money off of her as possible.
I
But
know.
something interesting that you said, he shuts down everything. Why
Mhm.
hasn't he shut down Yolanda right now? Because it says Yolanda and Selena.
So apparently he put out a statement recently, in recent days, right? Saying that obviously the family has no affiliation with this, and that they don't have, I guess, anything to do with it. They don't, I don't think he really gave much more of a comment.
Mhm.
And that, like, there's really not much that could be said. But I mean, I have to assume that he had to have done something legally because of the use of her name. So I'm not really sure how that works, because they if he in fact he does have some legal stake in her name, which I believe that he does, then he would have gotten paid for Oxygen's use. Therefore, he's profiting from this documentary, which would be
That's what I was
really
gonna,
disgusting.
that's what I was gonna say.
I hope I'm wrong.
No, I mean, but it's just like deductive reasoning. I'm like, well, why haven't you worked harder to shut this down, delay this? I think you're making money off the back end, and that is repulsive. That's my word for this video, repulsive. But I'm
Yeah.
looking at a TMZ article right now
Mhm.
and saying Abraham Quintanilla is making it clear he and the rest of Selena's family are not involved or supportive of the project in any way, shape, or form. He tells us in particular he wants absolutely nothing to do with Yolanda herself because everything she says is nothing but lies and no one's going to believe what she has to say anyway.
That's such a weird way to put that.
Hmm.
Like, that last statement. I don't know. That feels a little bit sus. Like, why even say that? Hmm.
And then it
Interesting.
also says, in fact, Abraham wonders what more she has to say that she hasn't already said, reiterating that everyone knows there's zero truth to anything that comes out of her mouth.
We should really investigate.
Who is
And
Abraham Quintanilla?
not just that, but if in fact he does own the rights to Selena's name. I believe that
Well,
there is still a thing.
yeah.
I feel like there is, but I can't 100% recall, because I know that he, like I mentioned, he has put a stop to Chris Perez when he was doing certain things, and he put a stop to or at least he attempted to, I don't know if he fully did, to Maria Elena Celeste. And yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Hmm.
Let's see. It says in 2016, this is according to Chrome.com, Quintanilla Jr. filed a lawsuit against Perez for trying to produce a TV series based on his memoir to Selena, With Love. The lawsuit claimed that the show would violate an agreement Perez signed that awarded the family sole rights to Selena's image and likeness.
So not the name.
Well, I mean, that's her image. Yolanda Selena, that's that. If you
Yeah,
think of Yolanda Saldivar, you think of Selena. That's her image.
that's true. Damn. So you see, Chris was trying to
Oh,
do this.
even more. I mean, there's more. Quintanilla is now the registered property rights holder to his daughter's name, voice, signature, photograph, and likeness, as well as the successor in interest to her right of publicity, according to a complaint that was on Bloomberg blog. Oh, it
So
says
he's getting paid.
Yeah, it's and this, I guess, lawsuit stems from father of Selena sues cruise company for trademark infringement. So that's where that's coming from.
Yeah.
He's getting paid.
He's got to be
I
getting paid.
mean,
Hey,
this
play.
guys, this is our deductive reasoning because this doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathing. If you're
Yeah.
stopping everybody, why aren't you stopping this one? This is like doing one of those gambling things. I'm not a gambler, but you know, you're betting on the winning team and the losing team and you're still making money kind of thing.
Right.
I think this
Forget
is what
what
it
I'm
is.
called. Listen, Linda,
Linda.
F that hoe and F Abraham.
Guys,
That's
on
how.
that note, before we continue to hear deep rants, guys, let me know what you think in the comments about Yolanda Saldivar. Let us know your favorite memory of Selena. Let us know if you're gonna watch the docuseries. I'm kind of torn because I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm leaning towards a no, but I'm kind of curious because it's me naturally. I'm curious, but I don't think I can support something like that.
It's a
But if
no
you
for me.
guys want us to watch it for real, because y'all want our opinions, we got to give you what you want.
It's a no for me. You could watch it. I'll go ahead and just follow along with you.
All right, so I'll watch it if you guys want me to. But let us know what you think in the comments about everything that we just discussed today. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're trying to grow our community so your friends could be our friends and we could all be friends. We also have social media, which Steve will tell you about.
We're on Instagram and TikTok. Hear me out, DNE. So make sure you guys like, follow, share, and comment. We enjoy our interactions with you all.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.